Time to introduce then our experts. We have Mitesh Thakkar, technical analyst, miteshthakkar.com, Ruchit Jain of Angel Broking, and Vikas Sethi, Managing Director, Sethi Finmat, all fighting it out to be the winner. Thanks very much for joining in, gentlemen. Let's nail it down to individual picks. Mitesh, start off then with ACC futures. What is it that you're reading on the charts, and is this a blanket call on the cement space, or is it purely for ACC?
I do like the cement space, but I think ACC particularly gave a breakout on Friday. It was doing a range of about 1385, 1390 on the upside to about 1330 on the downside, and we had a closing about 1390. And I think today appears to be more of a subdued pullback kind of a day, but overall I think it's triggered an uptrend which should see it get to about levels of 1440, 1460 in the next few days. So I would be a buyer over here with targets of around 1439 and a stop loss below 1378.9.
That's a call coming in on ACC October futures. Ruchit, let's discuss your portfolio then. And the first one that you've chosen is Crompton Greaves, and a buy call at that. What makes you bullish on Crompton Greaves?
Well, the stock since last few trading sessions was consolidating in a narrow range of 168, 170 on the lower side and 180, 183 on the higher side. So on the Friday's trading session, the stock gave a breakout of that consolidation range, and the volumes were comparatively very high as seen in the consolidation range. So it's a breakout with volumes, and hence I think for short term the stock should move higher from current levels. Today's pullback move should be used as an opportunity to buy this stock for short-term traders. I have given a stop loss of 183 for intraday perspective, and short-term positional traders can keep stop loss below 180, and I'm expecting target of at least 197 and above in near term.
Okay, that's the word coming in. Crompton Greaves this year has been a little bit patchy, but nonetheless, you do have Ruchit, who is fairly upbeat for targets of 197. But let's take note then of Reliance Industries posting its biggest single day gain. In fact, it was the highest GRMs that it saw in the last 7 years, the biggest profit growth that we've witnessed for the company in the last 9 quarters as well. And you have lots of brokerages also which are giving the stock a big thumbs up. In fact, CLSA has raised the EPS estimates. They're building in higher GRMs. Bank of America says that the GRMs are better than expected this time around. And Goldman Sachs also has raised the target price to 36 rather on the stock, maintaining a buy view. And Vikas, that's the stock that you're going long on. What kind of targets should someone watch out for if they pick it at the current levels?
Actually I chose to go long on Reliance. It came out with a spectacular set of numbers, highest ever quarterly net profits, highest ever EBITDA, and then their GRMs also are at 7-year highs. So the stock has done pretty well. My target for the day was 944.10, which has already been met. But I think from a long-term point of view, one should continue to hold on to the stock. And I feel in a year's time, or if you are willing to give 2 to 3 years, we could see substantial upside in the stock from the current levels.
Okay, that's a call coming in on RIL, and clearly what a move is what we are seeing for today's session. 4.5% of an uptick. It's been the biggest one-day gain since the last 1 year. So good going for Reliance Industries. Let's discuss the portfolio then. And Mitesh, let's discuss your second pick, which is on IOC. You've chosen to go long on this one with the target price of 424. If you can explain us your rationale behind this call.
See, I think in the short term, all the OMCs are showing some kind of positive traction on the chart, HPCL, BPCL as well as IOC. And the reason I've chosen IOC is that it's had a minor breakout as well above levels of 402, 403. And I think, possibly it should get into some kind of an uptrend over the next few days to come by. So I would look at a day price target of around 424, which is also a short term target, and would suggest a buy with a very tight stop loss at about 399.9.
Okay, there you have it. Those are some of the levels to map on IOC, up by about 0.5% as we speak right now. But let's move right on, Ruchit, and discuss Godrej Industries. And what's the rationale for picking out this stock?
This is one of the stock which has been consolidating since last 2 months. And on daily charts, it had formed a symmetrical triangle pattern. And on Friday's trading session, it gave a breakout of that triangle pattern. So the targets according to the pattern are quite high. But still, from short-term perspective, I have given us a target of 377. Overall, it should move higher up to 390. Positionally, that's what we are expecting. So, keeping stop loss below 357, it's a good buy for short-term traders.
Okay, that's a call coming in on Godrej Industries. Let's move on then and talk about Jet Airways, another high flyer in today's session. Because your call seems to have gone right with this one as well. A good 9.5% of an uptick coming in. But on the back of Indigo IPO, clearly all the airline stocks are doing pretty well. What are your expectations from Jet Airways and also Indigo? What are your expectations from both?
Yes, Kamya, Indigo's IPO, for which the dates have already been announced, and the aggressive pricing which they have done for the stock, I thought both the listed peers like Jet Airways and SpiceJet, which unfortunately is not there on the NSE, needed to do well today. So that was the reason why I chose Jet Airways, and I think for the next few days until the Indigo IPO, both the stocks would be in the limelight, and we could see some more upside in the stocks from a short-term point of view. So I would advise investors to continue to hold on to their long position if they are long on these stocks.
Okay, that's a call coming in on Jet Airways, clearly doing very well in today's session. Let's take a look at the calculators then and tell you as to who is currently the top gainer. Well, Mitesh Thakkar's portfolio, no targets or stop losses hit just as yet, barring IOC and now ACC. Everything is in the red, and it's about 1,800 rupees that he's losing out. Ruchit Jain then, all for buy calls and losing out on Crompton as well as Yes Bank for now. The other two stocks are in the green. He is just about flat on his calculator, losing out a sum of 720 odd rupees. And Vikas Sethi, well, for the day, his portfolio has been entirely locked in, given that he's achieved all four target prices. He's making very smart gains across the board. 28,200 odd rupees is what he stands to gain right now, all for buy recommendations and all doing very well at this juncture. So he's currently in the lead, followed by Ruchit and Mitesh. But let's slip into a quick break. Do come right back. We'll be discussing lots more ideas. Welcome back. Still tuned into BNS and the Stock Game, in conversation with all of our experts regarding their top picks. So Mitesh, let's talk about idea number 3 then. And on the radar, from the pharma pocket, it's Ipca Laboratories. It's a bit muted in today's session. Would you buy it at the current levels?
See, again, Ipca was a case of stock which had a very strong pricing volume action on Friday as it moved from 740 to 770. Also, we did see a good jump in volumes above the 5-day average. I think this could be, a stock which could possibly get into an uptrend with targets in excess of around 820. So I have that 820 as the day price target, and I would buy this one with a stop below 744.
That's a call coming in on Ipca Laboratories today, down in trade by about 0.8%, trading around 765 levels, and the target that Mitesh has set out is about 820. Clearly at the day's low at this point of time for Ipca Laboratories, not holding out that smartly. Let's get a check on Richard Jain's third pick, which is Yes Bank, and a target price of 790. Richard, Yes Bank also becomes the first Indian bank to be selected in Dow Jones Sustainability Index. Though in today's session, the stock isn't holding out that smartly. In fact, over the last 1 month also, the stock has seen a bit of a volatile move there. What are your expectations from Yes Bank with a 1 month horizon?
Well, if we see the recent past, then the stock has been building a base around 720. It has not been breaching the 720 levels, and it's continuously showing a resumption of the uptrend from 720. So we don't think that if we see from 1 month or more horizon, then the stock would breach the 720 support level. But even for short-term traders, I think the momentum would pick up once we see good momentum in Bank Nifty itself. So for short-term traders also, at current level, it's a good buy. Stop loss of 757, and first target we are expecting around 719 near term.
Okay, watch out for some of those levels on the stock, and currently Yes Bank is just about flat in the session. But Shakti Sugars, to just quickly pull that up for you, it's been fairly volatile, and sugar has been in the news of late. Today, Shakti Sugar as well, they're talking about commencing their crushing operations, and this is for the sugar season for 2015 and 16, and the stock is very active, up by a good 6%. Let's move right on then and discuss your pick. And speaking of active, That's a great move, Vikas, on arrow-coated products, a stock that you've picked out for the day. Firstly, tell us a little bit about what the company does and into plastic products, as to then what the fundamentals are, and why you think this makes for a good mid-cap recommendation.
Yes, Avan, this is a pretty small cap idea. The company has a market cap of just about 700 odd crores. The company manufactures biodegradable films, then mouth melting strips and oxy-fresh films. Its products are finding increasing acceptance, and I see huge demand for its products in the years to come. And the financials of the company are okay right now. It's a small company, but then I feel if one were to stick to this stock and if everything goes well, this could turn out to be a multi-bagger and we could see substantial upside even from the current levels. So I chose to go long, but then I didn't expect the stock to be doing as well as it has done today. So I'd given a pretty small target which has already been met.
Okay, that's a call coming in on arrow-coated, and clearly the stock is working in Vikas' favor. Double-digit gains coming in 11% higher in today's session, and clearly he's pointing out and saying that this could be a multi-bagger. Let's move on now and discuss Mitesh's last and final idea, which is a buy call on NMDC at a target price of 112. Mitesh, the stock is not doing that well in today's session, in fact losing about 1%. Would you expect a reversal in the trend going ahead for the stock?
See, I think the stock has had, what we call technically as a double bottom formation around levels of 90. And the breakout happens above 105. I think Friday the closing was around 105, so I did expect a breakout possibly today, but it's not happened. But maybe it will happen in a day or two, so that's not a worry. I think once it starts stabilizing above 105, I would look at targets of around 112, which is my day price target, but possibly targets of around 116 to 118 on the upside. So I'm quite positive on the structure over here and would recommend a buy with day price target of 112 and a stop at 101.
Okay, those are some of the levels to map out on NMDC, and the counter is just about flat in today's session at about 103. Ruchit, let's talk about ACC. You also are bullish on this stock?
Yeah, so probably more or less the same reasons what Mitesh has given earlier. On Friday's trading session, the stock has given a breakout from a falling trend line, and not only on the daily charts. Even if you observe this weekly and monthly charts, then the stock is showing consolidation around its long-term support zone. So I think even for positional traders or long-term investors, these are good levels to start accumulating this stock from the cement space. From trading perspective, I have recommended it with a stop loss below 1365 and target of 1440.
That's a call coming in on ACC. A common pick between Mitesh as well as Ruchit. Vikas, let's discuss your last idea, which is the Ninox win and a buy call. Target price 405. Tell us, what are the fundamentals of the company that you really like?
Yes, Kamya, this company also has been in the limelight of late. They've been bagging sizable orders, and on the back of that, the stock has been doing well. And yesterday, meaning on Friday, the stock saw a good amount of momentum, and so I thought that would continue, and that's why I chose to go long on the stock, and my target for the day has been met. But I feel we could see substantial upside even from the current levels. So an investor from a short to medium term point of view could stay invested in the stock.
With a short to medium term, you could stay on to this stock, but Inox win over the last 3 months has lost about 6%, but today holding out smartly 1% higher. And Vikas's target price has been met though over the last 3 months. Like I was flagging off, 7% is what the stock has lost today, doing very well. Target price has been met. Let's get in a calculator check and find out how each of our experts are placed at this point of time, starting off with Mitesh Thakkar's portfolio. Now, he is placed buy call on all 4 stocks. None of the target prices or stop losses have been triggered. 2 stocks that are being a bit of a bother are Ipca Labs as well as NMDC. Overall portfolio trending lower, and Mitesh is currently losing about 1,000 odd rupees. Let's get in a check on Ruchit Jain's portfolio as well. He too has placed 4 buy calls: Crompton Greaves, Yes Bank, ACC, as well as Godrej Industries. So barring an ACC and Godrej Industries, both the other stocks are trending lower. He's currently losing about 800 odd rupees at this point of time. Finally, let's get in a check on Vikas Sethi's portfolio, and his portfolio has been locked in for the day with all the stocks meeting the target price. So great going for Vikas Sethi's portfolio. He's currently making a good 28,000 rupees. So at this point of time, it's Vikas leading the game, followed by Mitesh and Ruchit. With that, would like to take time out to thank each of them for taking the time out and sharing their portfolios with us on ET Now. Okay, and as we wrap it up right here on Buy Now Sell Now, we want to remind our viewers that we are taking an endeavor to spread the knowledge on the stock markets as BNSN comes to campus. In fact, India's #1 business channel will be visiting the MET School of Management this Friday to understand the dynamics of the stock markets with a prominent market expert. Tune in Friday, 23rd October at 11 a.m.
Viewers reject CNBC yet again.